This is gonna be a hot take episode. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, there will be people who are not gonna like my thoughts and ideas on this movie. So get your typing fingers ready, internet, because Tokyo Fist did not hit for me. Premise is there. Execution. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And before I get started, if there's an episode or movie review or TV show you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comments below and I'll get to it as best I can. Also, Patreon.com/Ali Zakka. For $2 a month, you get cut in front of everybody. Get your review out way before it comes out on Facebook and YouTube. You also get trailer reactions, trailer reviews, and other comments and talking points that you get to talk behind the scenes with me regarding movies and stuff like that. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's episode of 1995, Tokyo Fist. And what is the movie about? This movie is about a businessman who starts to take up boxing because a friend from his past who is a professional boxer or just a boxer himself, semi-pro/professional boxer himself, comes and tries to have an affair with his girlfriend or wife. That is pretty much the gist of this movie, and our main character trying to prepare the boxer to win his wife back. That is or girlfriend. That is the gist of this movie. And the things that I liked, the ideal of it, the idea was there. The visuals, I didn't mind the visuals. I thought it was kind of interesting. It sounded more like the sounding effects as well. The visual sounds in this movie reminded me a lot of an anime. The punching and then the blood and the swelled up faces, like the things I see in anime, reminds me a lot of this movie. The way that the movie was directed, and somebody gets hit and like this, like it's over the top of dramatic, like WWE and anime. What I didn't like is the execution of the story. And I think I like the acting. The acting wasn't bad. I thought the acting was good. But the execution of the story, what is the story? Story. It's what gets me. Storyline. The way you have the characters do things. It wasn't, to me, in my opinion, wasn't done and delivered well. In this movie, you have three main characters. And let me pull this up because I don't mess the name up. Suda, Hizuru, and Kojima. Those are the three main characters. And all three characters are not good people. You do not empathize or sympathize with any one of them. And that would hurt this movie. When you get a fighter movie, you need an antagonist and a protagonist. You need a good guy and a bad guy. A baby face versus a heel. I'm gonna talk wrestling terms here, like we're talking about WWE here. The reason why Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant worked is because Hulk Hogan is a baby face and Andre the Giant the heel who can't be taught. And then Hulk Hogan throws him on his back and everybody goes wild. The reason why Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels work. Chris Jericho's the heel, and he doesn't like Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels a baby face, and Shawn Michaels got through all this stuff. The reason why Stone Cold and The Rock works. Stone Cold is the baby face, The Rock is the heel, and this works. John Cena gets multiple heels that he faced. John Cena versus Randy Orton. The reason why John Cena works, he's the ultimate baby face in WWE. And then you have Randy Orton, who's a villain, the Viper. RKO out of nowhere. There's a good guy you can get behind, there's a bad guy you can get behind. John Cena's kind of perplexed, so you can say he's good or bad depending on how people like him. Roman Reigns right now is the biggest heel in WWE. People do not like him, and he is going through baby faces left and right. Good guy, bad guy. Give you somebody to cheer for, give you somebody to hate. This movie does not do that. The premise of a protagonist losing his girlfriend to a boxer, who the girl finds herself falling in love with a boxer because he seems manly and tough and crazy, and she wants that. She wants to change her life because she's bored, and she wants that. And the good guy who kind of like meek, mild-mannered and not strong, and then he like, all right, maybe learn how to box and get strong and impress my girlfriend slash wife and get her back, because she could be cheating on me with this dude who seemed to be manly and strong and fit and there's actually a scene where he punched the guy and he's like like he's powering up, and I was like, this is pure anime. But like, I get that premise, the dude trying to get his girlfriend back from a dude who tried to take his girl. But then when you watch the movie, the guy didn't want his girlfriend, he just did it to make the dude mad. Kojima just did it to make Suda mad, so he didn't want his girlfriend. Suda is abusing Hizuru in this movie. I think it's Hizuru or Hizuru. I'm gonna say Hizuru. Hizuru. Sorry if I messed it up. But he is He, so he. Head is He, high is high. Because he is Hizuru. Sorry. Hizuru, Hizuru, he. So yeah, Hizuru. Hizuru is pretty much berating both men in this movie. She's berating Suda for not being strong enough and being confident, and she berates Kojima for not being confident and being scared, and she's making Suda mad for pretty much no apparent reason, just because. And Suda's being abusive in this movie, so you're like, well, I can't get behind these two characters. And then Kojima, who's causing a rift between them, like, I can't get behind him, and then he's acting scared. And then in the movie, they face each other. All Suda versus Kojima happens, and Kojima comes out on top, which makes sense. And then Kojima wins a boxing match, and the movie goes off with like blood everywhere and stuff like that. But story, I couldn't get behind anybody. It was the most troubling thing. It irked my soul. Any other villain movie, Thanos, I can get behind Thanos. I can get behind Joker. Why the main character Clockwork Orange worked for me, because he was a bad dude. He was kind of charming, and he thought he could work his way out of stuff. And you see the movie from his perspective, but he's not doing the right things. Like, give me somebody you can sympathize with, or at least like empathize and sympathize with. This movie, you couldn't do that with anybody. Suda's being abusive and controlling to Hizuru, and Kojima's acting scared, but also like kind of wants Hizuru, and Hizuru's doing these things to make herself different because she wants to be different and be alive and energetic. But then she's berating both men and being a jerk to them. So you're like, I need somebody to cheer for, and I can't cheer for. And that's the first thing for a sports movie, by the way. Boxing. Good guy, bad guy. Why does Rocky work? Rocky is the good babyface versus Drago. Like, it's literally writing 101 in this movie. Whether the director want to be different, just doesn't work for me, and that is the biggest nag on this movie. The color of this movie is fine. It's mostly blue with a little bit of light in there. And then you watch this movie like, oh, what, they give you a backstory for Kojima and Suda and why they at each other. But that backstory comes so far into the movie where you're just like, F it. I don't even care anymore. To me, this movie just doesn't work. It's just not having somebody you can cheer for. If they just gave you somebody who can be like, if it was Hizuru and I want to be like empathetic for her and see her trying to get away from these two abusive relationships. One is abusive, the other one she wanted to go to get change it up. I would have been down with that. But it was nothing I can get behind, nothing I feel empathy or sympathy for. Writing for this movie does not work for me. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the director, cast, and time frame of this movie. This movie is an hour and 27 minutes long. It's probably rated R. Doesn't have a rating on IMDb. Came out in 1995, like I said before. The director is Shinya Tsukamoto, who is actually the main character, Suda. That he's also the director. The writers of this movie are Hisashi Saito and Shinya Tsukamoto. Both are the writers of this movie. The main characters, Suda Yoshiharu, or just Suda, who played by Shinya. I just didn't like the character, man. He was definitely just not a good dude. Like, the acting I think is solid, but the character for this dude, Suda, was not good at all. Kaori Fuji, who plays Hizuru, fine. The character just don't have anything behind her, but she's somebody who wants to be different and change it up and kind of bored. And there's actually a scene between her and Suda. Suda's like, when's the last time we did it? Like, you know, the relationship's not a good relationship. He's not confident in himself, and she's bored of him. Like, and she wants something different. Yeah, the what's there for her makes sense, but then when she started berating both men, it was like, why did I get behind you too? Like, I get you going with your freedom, but then you berate both men, and it's like, what's the point? And then you have Koji Tsukamoto, who plays Kojima. He at one point seemed like the mad dude, like, I have your girl, come get her from me, like the big boss. And then he turns into like a coward, like, I don't know I can fight Suda, he's going to kill me. And I guess you can say that in the movie he lost his humanity to face Suda, to beat him. But at the same time, it's just like, I checked out. I wasn't even finished. I finished the movie, but I was just like, too little too late at this point. And then the fight was like, the fight just happened. Like, it wasn't like this big grandiose screen. Because then there's some other guy that Kojima had to face, who every person he beat had a tattoo on his arm for each person he beat. And I was like, you introduced this guy, but why is he in this movie? Why do I care about Kojima when the beef is between Kojima and Suda? I just, writing. I preach writing. Visuals fine. The visuals movie is fine. But anyway, I think Koji did a good job. I think the actors and actresses did a good job portraying and being like energetic and losing their minds and being crazy when they needed to be. I think the acting in this movie is solid. I was behind the acting. It's just the writing. The writing is what hurts this so much. Everybody needs a bad guy to a good guy. Everybody needs a Lex Luthor to Superman, a Joker to Batman. And when you don't do that, you're just watching a movie where you don't get invested in the person to cheer for. You're just like watching this. Like Requiem for a Dream. You watch that movie and you see what they're doing. You see what the main characters are doing and putting themselves in a situation that's going to hurt them. You see that path going on. But at least you want to see something for them. You care about the characters. You don't want to see Jared Leto lose his arm. You don't want to see Jennifer Connelly go through that, or Marlon Wayans go through this. You want to find out, to reach out and say, hey, I got you. Don't go through this. But you can't, and you're watching the roller coaster just go down, down, down. And this movie, there's nobody can get behind. You know, I didn't agree with what they're doing. I just didn't care. And it put me a fight, and I'm like, dude, you've been a jerk to your girlfriend. Why do I care about you getting her back? That doesn't do anything. Oh, bro, like, you don't want her, then why would you mess with them that way? And I know there's a backstory between, oh, the old girl died, and it was like they're going to revenge to get together and beat the dudes who killed the girl. But, and it's supposed to be a revenge story coming back to how do you lose your way kind of thing. But it just, between two people who just wasn't good people, that really just, it really doesn't hit for me. Any other thoughts? The music? It's cool. It's very 1990s. Very 1990s. The color is like I said, the movie's blue most of the time. Like, it'll be like a sad, like, the movie tone of the movie really, the color and tone really sets it up as like, yeah, this is gonna be one of those movies that you're just gonna be sad and blue most of the time, and this movie really portrays that. Like, there's not really much color other than mostly blue. Most of the time, I don't think I can think of it as mostly blue in this movie. There's colors like when in the boxing ring, stuff like that, but most of the time outside, the rooms are blue. They just blue. Yeah. Is this a Friday night movie? Nah, it's not a Friday night movie. And great in time. One, I'm gonna give a shout out to Bobby for requesting this movie review. I'm sorry, man, that I pretty much kind of went into it, but this was a movie review request. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Great in time. I'm gonna grade Tokyo Fizz for 1995 a solid D. This movie gets a D for me. That's a 65%. It literally does not hit for me. Like I said, the storyline is what hurts this movie a lot. The writing just was not good. You don't have a villain or the kind to care for. It's literally just like two people who are being jerks to each other and a girl who's being jerks to them. And it's just like everybody in this circle is just, But the visuals movie's okay. The acting is okay. And the color blue, I don't really mind the color, but the writing to me what hurts me the most. It just, give me somebody to care about. I care about the Joker in the Joker movie. I care about, Thanos in the Thanos movie. Anakin Skywalker, why he works as a villain and why you get behind him because you see the downfall. But in Clockwork Orange, I can't think of his name right now, but that villain, the original guy, like, it works. If you don't get somebody to get empathetic behind and see their downfall, it doesn't do anything for me. It really don't. You have nobody to cheer for. And when it comes to a sports movie, you need somebody to cheer for, and this movie didn't do that. Graphically, yeah, the horror and visuals, I can see how people are like, oh my gosh, it's so grotesque. Yeah. And to me, I was just like, go watch Rock versus Bret Hart, or not Rock, but go watch Stone Cold versus Bret Hart in WrestleMania 14, I believe. Or no, not 14, WrestleMania 13. And Stone Cold has the blood running down his face. Go watch any WWE match from the 90s. Go watch AEW. Matter of fact, Yuta just had a match where he is crimson face. Blood everywhere. And when you see that in sports entertainment like WWE and AEW, then watch a movie where they're doing it, you're just like, this is what people consider. Like, I don't know, I guess in the time, 1995, watching this, why WWE worked because of the blood and stuff like that. And watching this movie, I guess it would have worked the same. Because you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this before. But the writing, like, and that doesn't bother me. It's just the writing really irked me in this movie. Yeah, so I'm giving this movie a D. It gets a D for me, at 65%. IMDb gives it a 7.1, which is, that's just a 7. So this is a C minus from IMDb. And then Rotten Tomatoes actually gave it, they don't have a critics review of this, like a critic score, but the fan score, like, this movie's a close. Oh no, the fan score, the audience score gives it a 78%, which is a C plus. So, yep, that's it. If you guys seen Tokyo Fish, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode of Movie Breakdowns. Keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all and keep being awesome.